All right, how's it going, everybody? I'm Cameron Wilt. This is Bourbon and Bass Fishing. This is the first podcast, Bourbon and Bass Fishing, for 2022. We're gonna kind of do one of these, hopefully once a month, one at every single NPFL event. So that'll be fun. Hopefully we'll have a bunch of guests on here this year. But yeah, today we've got two special guests. I'm bringing on the fully loaded team today. So we've got Doug Chapin and Mike Nugent. So I'm going to bring those guys on right now and, you know, get them to introduce themselves. All right, who wants to go first?
Hey, Doug.
Um, I'm Doug Chapin. I fish with the NPFL. I'm in Gunnersville right now. Hopefully get on the water next week and looking forward to getting to Cumberland.
Oh, Mike.
Hey, I'm Mike Nugent. I was last year I fished with the NPFL. I was a fully loaded pro there. Had a pretty good season. Didn't go as planned, but this year should be pretty good for me. I took a different leap. I'm going to go and try to qualify for the MLF tour. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm fishing several of the Toyota events. We're going to try and see what happens.
Oh, sounds exciting there, boys. Like you said, last year, Fully Loaded sponsored the NPFL right there at the beginning of the year, and then
Yes,
they
sir.
brought Mike on. What, Pickwick? Was that your first event?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Fished what?
Right, we fished right
Yeah,
next to each other.
rub rail to rub rail for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
fun
it's a good
event, but
tournament. I caught a big smallmouth right there in front of you guys.
oh my gosh, dude. I hooked into like a 5 pounder right then. You caught that big smallmouth. Stuart Arthur caught a big one or lost a big
Yeah.
one right there.
Yeah.
I was like, man, about time those fish finally turn on. But no, I mean, I'm really excited to be with the fully loaded team this year. Should be a fun time this year. So we'll just have to see how it goes, boys.
I think we
Um,
shows scheduled, don't we?
what was that?
I think we've got a couple expos scheduled to go to.
Yeah, so he said there's one in March. I don't know which one that is. I'll have to look it up.
Mhm.
I'll be at the Columbus one here in a couple weeks in February.
Mhm.
I'll actually have a booth for bourbon and bass fishing for the charter side of this whole shenanigans. Trying to book trips up there on Lake Erie. So, but I'll
Oh,
be over at the booth and my boat sponsor's there, my rod sponsor's there, so that'll be a fun show.
I'll probably be at that one too.
Oh, dope, dude. Come by, get a t-shirt. You gonna make it? Wait, you got something going on that week, right? Don't you, Mike?
Yeah, I'll start pre-fishing for the first Toyota event on Rayburn
Oh,
that week.
there we
So
go.
they
Yeah,
setting
can't
up.
miss that.
I'm actually getting new hooks and getting ready to go myself right now.
Oh, there you go. Might have to send you some cornerstone crankbaits.
I'm,
A little bit better in that colder water than those uh, Strike Kings. A little tighter
yeah,
wobble, a
need
little less
something a little
noise.
tighter, wobble, and less noise when it gets a little colder.
Yeah, rock crawlers and those cornerstone baits I've been throwing,
Yes,
they're a
sir.
lot tighter and they've only got one knocker in them, so they're not as loud.
I'm going to tell you, I've set up on some river ledges here the last couple of weeks, and I've spotted some in 35 foot of water. And the blade, the jigging blade or whatever you want to call it,
Little
is
blade
working
baits,
really
yeah.
good. I caught a 9 and 1/6 last week, so they're
Yeah.
feeding pretty good right now, and they're pretty easy to find.
We use those up here for cold water smallmouth and walleye a lot, so
Yeah, they like those blade baits. I don't know why, but they do.
it's dude, it's insane. We got a lake here in Ohio that all year it takes 10 pounds to win, except for like 2 weeks in the spring. And you throw blade baits for those cold water smallmouth, for some reason it takes 20, 25 pounds a day to win. So
Really.
yeah, but every other week out of the year it takes 10 pounds to win.
Mm.
It's just the right 2 weeks out of the year. But we'll move on here. A little bit first. I want to talk a little bit about, some of the news going on in the fishing industry right now. Not a whole lot's gotten up and going yet because, start of the year's going. So, but I follow college religiously. I fished in college, 2 years ago? I mean, the week before the first NPFL event. I was in the College National Championship last year. So, but the college has gotten 2 events off this year, both of them on Harris chain. One of them was on the 10th. One of them ended this weekend. And the team of Seth Jenkins and TJ McKenzie from Emmanuel Christian, they won the one at the start of the year for the MLF. And then they came in second, the one that ended this weekend for Bassmaster.
Mm.
They dropped 25 pounds in the first one. And then on day one of this tournament, they dropped 31. But they lost to a team from Kentucky Christian that dropped almost 37 pounds today.
Where were they at when we
That's
were there?
insane.
No kidding. Like, I'm watching and someone said, yeah, 37 pounds. And I was like, what in the world? I was like, I want to see 37 pounds. I was like, that's creeping on like Rayburn numbers over there.
Yeah, that's
Like
wild.
those 40, 50-pound bags. Like, oh my gosh.
Honestly, the way everything's setting up on Rayburn, there's a big event coming up that starts the 3rd through the 5th. Brandon Belt, he's a pro baseball player. He's
Mhm.
got a big event. First place pays out $100,000 for the team deal. But I anticipate some of those weights touching 50 pounds for
Jesus.
one
Oh
day.
my gosh.
With some of the guys that are coming, it's going to be crazy.
I moved to the wrong part of the country. I'm originally from I was born in Longview. So East Texas.
Texas,
Yep.
why did you leave?
My so when I was in college, I was gonna go play college baseball. My parents moved up to Ohio because my dad's from up here. And when college baseball didn't work out, I wanted to fish in college, and he had the bass boat up here. So I transferred and followed because I didn't want to have to be a co-angler and have to fight for a spot on team. I was like, nah, if I want to go fish a tournament, I want to go fish a tournament. So followed the bass boat, and I just haven't left yet.
Sounds like you had pretty good success fishing at the college level, though.
Oh yeah, my last 2 years were I sucked my first 2 years. I got my teeth kicked in. Every finish was triple digits. I mean, it was bad. I got my teeth kicked in, and then when I finally transferred, I started guiding out on Lake Erie. So over the summer, I just fished every single day. And then when I did that, I mean, my fishing changed dramatically. So had like a 5th place finish, and then my last college tournament, my last like regular season event was on Lake Erie. We ended up winning. So you know, that was a bomb. That was the only reason I made it to the NPFL, I think. But no, so want to talk about the schedules here. So, like you said, Mike, what were you fishing this year? I know you
I'm
were
gonna
talking about that.
that Brandon Belt tournament is just a team deal that actually Travis Jewell is going to fish with me. That's my partner. He fished with us last year on the
Yep.
NPFL. He's going to partner up with me. We signed up last week, and I'll start practicing for it this coming week, and then next week it'll go off limits for 3 days, and then we'll start on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I don't remember what day. The third, and then it's going to be a pretty big deal. I've already, been doing my homework out there and spending a lot of time on the water, so I think that's going to be a pretty good event. They're giving a bass boat away. They're giving a bass cat with a 250 on it
There
for
we
the
go.
biggest bass, and they're giving 2 more bass boats away for something else, and then they're doing the 100,000 for first place. But they're paying out 50 places, so
Jesus.
should be a pretty good event. They're paying
Mhm.
out over $400,000 in cash.
Oh my gosh. Man, if I had the cash, I'd be heading south right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some guys. There's already some elites that are going to be there. I mean,
Oh yeah. I
it's
mean, you
going to
put
be
up
big.
a team event that pays 100 grand, like
Yeah.
you're gonna have
It's
guys
it's the
show
largest team event that's ever paid this kind of money anywhere, and it's going to be on probably one of the best bass fishing lakes in the United States.
if not the world. Definitely the world. I mean,
If I don't see a 50-pound sack come in one day, I'll be surprised.
Jesus.
That's wild.
Oh my gosh. I high five people when I see something over 20. I'm like, good job, dude. You're really killing
I'm
it out
going to
there.
say a 3-day total of 125, probably close to it.
Jesus.
That'd be something to see. I don't think
Jesus.
I don't think I've ever seen bass that big in person in my life.
Yeah. Imagine dropping 25 pounds and not like even being anywhere near contention to win. Just like
And
They
you
had a
drop 25, come
they
in,
had a
and they're
deal
just
that
like,
they put on. Bass Champs put on a Texas shootout down there this last fall,
mhm.
and there was a 3 fish limit, and it was just 30 pounds that won it.
Yeah, no, I grew up in Central Texas, so I fished on Belton and Stillhouse,
Mm-hmm.
and they had Wednesday night tournaments on Stillhouse, or Wednesday or Thursday nights, and they were 3 fish limit, and I
4
mean,
hours.
yeah, and I mean it took every bit of 20 something, 30 something pounds to win those events. Like I was
It's
like, oh
crazy.
my God, it's ridiculous.
But in order to be successful at those tournaments, you've got to spend a lot of time on the water. And with you guys' schedule and me wanting to do what I'm doing this year, I mean, I've got to spend pretty much every day on Rayburn to be competitive with some of those guys because they live there, they breathe there, they stay there all the time.
Yeah, and they've been doing it for 20 years there
It's
too.
just is
So,
what it is. I mean, that's what you've got to do. You've got to do your homework on that lake, or you're
oh
not just
yeah,
go out there and catch them.
yeah, no, that's one of those. mm, That's one of those places I want to see us roll in for the NPFL.
we'll be there eventually. I can't see us not going there.
I know we'll be there eventually. I was very surprised we didn't go there to kick it off last year.
Don't let Toledo Bend fool you either. I live on Toledo Bend, so don't let that one fool you either.
Uh,
It's got them too.
Oh no, I love Toledo Bend. Like I know Toledo Bend's got them, but Rayburn's in a class of its own. Like Toledo Bend's amazing, but Rayburn is in its own world.
And I'll give you a little piece of advice I seen when I was there last week. I'm not going to say where at, but I caught a 9 pounder in hydrilla
Jesus.
already. So it's
Uh,
they're setting up like they're supposed to be right now. I hadn't seen them do this in a few years.
Jesus. Well, what else are you fishing besides the Brandon Belt there? I know you
The
said something
Toyota
about
Southwestern
yeah.
Division, and I think I'm going to fish some of the Plains divisions as well. I don't know for sure how that's going to coincide with some of the other stuff I got on my schedule, but that's what my plan is. I want to fish 6 of the Toyota events.
I gotcha. Yeah, I know the Southwestern's got Rayburn on there twice, so
It does.
you just need to move there at this point.
Yeah, I can be in the water at Rayburn from my house in 35 minutes. So
No, maybe not then.
Yeah, that ain't bad at all.
Yeah, I live an hour right now from Lake Erie, and I make the drive every day. So
sometimes it's better than a 3 hour boat run.
yeah, true that. But
We
no,
did make some of those last year.
yeah, I see Texoma's on there. You ever fish Texoma?
I have. I
No.
have. I like Texoma, but you can't catch anything during practice.
Yeah, no. I wrote a article a couple years ago on some of the top fisheries in Texas, and that was one of the ones that got added in there just because of the smallmouth factor in there.
You cannot catch anything during practice. That's hard to do, very hard to do because a lot of us do it, but that's the biggest mistake a lot of people make when they go to Texoma is catch them during practice.
Yeah, I've only been there for once, and I mean it wasn't nothing too special. Caught quite a few fish, but they were all, nothing spectacular. 2 pounders, stuff like that,
Mhm.
But, I grew up Belton Lake was I always said fish very similar to Texoma over in Central Texas. It had that smallmouth factor in there and stuff, but it was, I guess, a scaled down version of Texoma. But which ones of the planes are you thinking about going? Probably
Probably gonna
Grand.
do Grand Lake, Oklahoma. Probably all 3 of them. They're all pretty good for me. I think they've got one in Missouri and they got one in at the Ozarks. So I don't know for sure about the one lake, but I'm pretty sure that I can do well in the rest of them.
In
I've never
Table
heard.
Rock, one of them.
No, it's Lake of the Ozarks, Grand Lake, and then Truman Lake in
Yeah,
Missouri.
Truman. I don't have any. I don't have anything on.
I've never heard of that lake before. So
But it's I just I think I could do well with it. So that's the other schedule that I picked this year.
I gotcha. Yeah. I know Doug over here. We are fishing NPFL this season.
Yep.
How do you feel about that season or that schedule this year?
I've seen a lot of people go both ways on it. I'm actually excited about it. I think it tosses things up.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not going to claim to be an expert on big lake smallmouth at all, but I know I got a general idea of the concept, and I'm not too terrified of it. I lived in Green Bay for quite a while when I started bass fishing, so I get it. The other lakes are going to be a lot of fun. I think the one that's going to time out the best is probably Watts Bar. We're going to catch them before they get pounded on the ledges by everyone else, so that should be a fun tournament. I don't know. Overall, I'm pretty excited about it. I think I'm going to try and jump in a few Toyota events. We'll see how everything plays out. I wanted to fish some of the opens this year, but it didn't work out because you kind of, at this point, you have to be next to the computer ready to press enter at midnight when it opens, or you're not getting in. And by that point, I had
ridiculous.
complete commitments from all of my partners yet, so I couldn't commit to that unless I knew I was gonna have the partnerships locked down. So
Yeah, I get that. Well, you fell into something similar, didn't you, Mike? Trying to get into those
Yeah,
opens.
I actually tried to get in them, man. I got in. I was like 168 on the waiting list, and then
Jesus.
it's just not ever going to
Yeah.
happen. Especially with
I mean,
them going to be on Rayburn this year too. So
yeah, they're like what 250 boat tournament max, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Max with like a couple of my buddies did the same thing like that. It's like all the Bassmaster events, the major ones are like the same because I got a bunch of buddies still at like Bowling Green fishing the college series, and I asked them, I was like, hey, why weren't you down in Florida this week? And they were like, dude, like we're on the waiting list. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, they max out at 250 and they hit it in like a week. And I'm like, Jesus, oh my
yeah,
God. I'm like, it's starting to become like the opens. I mean, the opens, they fill up in what, a day? I mean,
probably
You're
Jesus.
not.
hours, I bet.
I know. I had a friend do the same thing. Signed up the first day, and that was with a lifetime membership too, and got put on the waiting list. And I was at
Jesus.
like 9 in the morning on the first day it opened, or it was
Jeez.
real early. Still didn't get in. So next year,
That,
hopefully, I'm a little more prepared and I can just press that enter button and hopefully get a spot. But
yeah, that's definitely something I'm hoping if this year goes well enough between running charters, sponsorships, and, like tournament finishes. I'm hoping next year I can also jump into the at least some of the opens next year.
yep,
But yeah, you got to have all that money like basically sitting back. Wait, I mean, you basically have to have it paid up.
yep,
Then, I mean, that's ridiculous though. Um, I mean, that's like another hurdle just to try and like get to the like next level.
it is.
Like we got lucky with the NPFL. They just kind of grabbed guys and they were like, "Look, we think you've got what it takes." And
Yep,
the
Well, and that's
opens,
one good thing about the NPFL is that they give this another opportunity, another venue for the people that are ready to take that step into the next level. It's not quite as tough to get into it. Um, I still think they'll be great and successful. I don't think there's going to be any more hiccups or problems or anything like that. I really feel like everything's going to go well.
yeah, I'm looking forward to this year.
I
I
could
think it's
potentially be back with them next year. I've spoke to Brad and all those guys about it, and that is my plan next year is to try to be back on tour with them. So if I
yeah,
don't qualify for the MLF deal,
yeah.
well,
Well, if
you
you
know,
don't, at least win one of the Rayburn events so you can come back.
I
yeah,
think
no doubt.
the fishing industry in general kind of needs the NPFL. If you look at how many people are trying to fish the opens and how many people are fishing the Toyota events, and how
Hmm.
many people, there's so many guys that are ready to move up. I think the NPFL was definitely a good stepping stone for the industry in general, for guys that know that they want to do this as a career to get into the industry. So
Hmm.
And they wouldn't be, I don't think, making a mistake if they started a little lower level entry type deal as well, kind of like an open to get into the league itself. You know what I mean?
I think that's probably part of the plan in the future. I don't know
Yeah.
for sure, but I would assume it's probably going to have to go that direction eventually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't know about the next like 5 years, but definitely like in the next 10 years, it's hard to see like if MPFL, is still successful and around. Like, it's hard not to see that there's not, some sort of qualifying series for it.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested, and I'll also be interested. I hear a lot of people complain about like fishing the opens and the Toyotas. They don't like it when the pros get to fish. So I'd be very interested to see if the NPFL did one of those approaches where if you fish in the NPFL, you can't fish in the NPFL qualifiers. I'd be interested in see if they came out with something like that. Something truly it's just to qualify for it.
Mhm.
But all right, Doug, which one of these events are you least looking forward to?
Florida.
Florida?
Yeah.
Why Florida, dude?
Man, I had a bad tournament there last year and it put a sour taste in my mouth, I guess. I had, it's not that I wasn't on decent fish. I had a lot of fish come off on me, and the tournament just went very poorly. I caught a limit every day, but we know how much 12-inch fish weigh, you know,
Oh yeah.
and I caught plenty of those. But I don't know. I just gotta get used to it, and I think
It's
I'll
the
be
way,
better the second time around. I'll be a little more prepared. You
that's
know,
the way they bite in that Kissimmee grass. It's crazy. It's just
Oh, dude, yeah.
put in there and they pick it up. I mean, it's not like a normal bite. When they pick it up, they pick it up and you either got them or you're not going to get them.
Dude, I lost probably a 7 or 8 pounder in that stuff. I'd set the hook into him. I see him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is a game changer for me. And then he goes down to the roots of that Kissimmee grass and wraps it up, and I'm like, my head's like in the water, and I'm trying to rip that stuff out of the ground, and it's just not. And then I just feel it stop shaking, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like that fit. Like if I would have fished clean that tournament, like easily top 15, top 10 finish, but you know,
yeah. Well, you
coulda,
can't.
woulda, shoulda.
All you can do from the bad ones is learn, and I can tell you that from Florida, I definitely learned what not to do. So
Oh, no, Florida, I found a bank though. Actually, Mike was fishing over there. Oh yeah, we
Oh,
rode
yeah.
rails a lot this year. But Mike was fishing over there a little bit, and that bank, I mean, every 15 minutes it reloaded with probably 40
Yeah,
or 50 bass right there on the
like
edge.
copper. They reloaded like copper.
Dude, it was ridiculous. But day one, my trolling motor died. I had a 5 pounder come up and swipe at me, and I missed it. I had a 4 pounder bite my bait in half, missed him. Then I caught a 3 pounder, and then my trolling motor died. Like this is like 5 minutes into the first day. I run in, change the trolling motor for a backup Fortrex I got sitting in the truck. I'm on my way back out, and I spin my prop. I
mm,
just go straight. I just put the trolling motor on high, went straight to the bank. I'm out in the middle of Big Harris. Go straight to the bank, and I start trolling back to the bank or back to the ramp, just fishing. And luckily, it was happened so early in the morning. I had most of the day, and I only caught 4 fish. And then day two and day three, I got to go fish that area, and I mean, I probably got 50 fish a day, and I finished 1 pound out of the check and
that's raw.
on day one I only weighed in 4 fish and I was like, yep, there it is. Oh
I
god.
think I didn't cut a check in that one by ounces.
Dude, who else was over there with us that missed cutting a
Stu
check?
Arthur was over there too.
Yeah, and then Randy Kukroll. Yeah. He caught like a 5 pounder, like right off that one dock that him,
Yep,
Jeff Barth, and I kept fishing. He caught
yep.
like a 5 pounder on it. And we thought it was like, oh man, this is the check. This is it. And then he's like, yep, that's it. And I'm like, dude, congrats. We go into weigh in. I look up at the end of it. He came in 37th place. And I'm like, Jesus, by like an ounce or something. I was like, dude, I'd have puked. I'd have been
Yeah.
sick.
I
But
found a lot of fish offshore, and then after day one, I'd been seeing too much, and the locals kind of beat me in it. And I couldn't never get back to the offshore water I was fishing, so I had to go to an alternative plan.
dude, those high schooler kids on day three, dude, I had some pull up and like the boat captain was like, I caught like a 4 pounder. Boat captain's like, yeah, you see where he is, get right up next to him. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you teaching these kids that? And I fished all day with a high school team. I mean, 15 feet from a boat. And I was like, and they kept losing fish and stuff. And I was like, at least catch them. Like, make me feel
Right.
better about it. Like, at least catch them. But what event of these are you looking forward to the most over there, though, Doug?
Uh,
Cumberland.
yeah, probably Cumberland.
I knew
Really?
Yeah,
it. I knew
Really?
it.
yeah. I
Oh,
think I think it. You know, it all kinds of depends on. It kind of depends on if we get that waiver. You know,
Yeah,
that's going to change how guys practice. That's going to change everything in the whole tournament.
Yeah, that really.
I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to Saginaw Bay too. That one's going to be a smash fest, I think.
Oh, you know
dude.
that's in Cameron's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, though Erie, I've got it circled, dude. I got it circled. Oh man, like I've been guiding there for the past 3 years. This will be year number 4, and dude, I got it circled. And as long as they let us go to
It's the
Peely,
right time of the year too, isn't it, for you?
it's a strange time of year actually. That September. So my 2 college finishes that I had there, I came in 5th and we won one. They happened around that time of year. So, but the problem is, are they going to let us go to Canada? And that just depends on a lot of what Canada does on their rules with COVID and all that. But secondly, is going to be how's the weather around that time? Because that really is a transition window right there. So if it hits just right, they'll start pushing heavier into fall, so they'll feed more. But if we have like a long summer and it's hot, those fish are going to be scattered. You're going to catch one and you can't hunker down. You got to go to another spot because there's probably only a couple fish and they're scattered, all hiding on one different rock. So um, it could be a slugfest, but if it doesn't hit right, you could have a lot of people going up to St. Clair, and it could be one in St. Clair. So, but if we get to go to Peely, I'm not leaving the area.
I wonder if what they're all going to put off limits for us there. I wonder if they'll keep the river in play, if they'll keep St. Clair. If who knows?
I feel like if they open up the river, they'll open up St. Clair. So I feel like if I don't know the way it sounded to me was in that little Facebook community page, someone asked like, "Can we fish this or that?" And Paul Benson mentioned he's like, "If you can get to it by boat, it's off limits." So to me, it would sound like if you can get to it by boat, it's full game. So,
Well, that would be the whole chain. It's all connected.
No, yeah, no. I mean,
they got to put some kind of a lot of guys are going to go up there and probably stay, and I'd say putting some kind of off limits would be good because if I fish in Saginaw Bay till the cutoff, and then I could just go across Michigan and fish Michigan, or go to Lake Erie and start practicing there.
Yeah.
I hope there's some kind of a cutoff so that I can actually get on some kind of Great Lakes fishing while I'm just in limbo,
No, I gotcha. I mean, I think realistically, it's like you're not going to get to Huron by boat, It's like if you do, you're going to have 25 minutes worth of fishing and get back. So, you know, I feel like that'll just be a phone call and be like, "Hey, can I fish this?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, you're fine." But other than that, but now I'm really excited for Erie. Cumberland's gonna be.
That's going to depend on. It's going to depend on the weather. One, it's going to depend on how much water rise there is, and it's going to depend on water temperature.
Yeah.
And none of us are going to know that until a week
To drop the boat in the water. Yeah.
Because I was looking at historical water levels there, and it comes up 60 feet between mid January and mid February, 60 feet.
Yeah, but 5 feet off the bank, you're in 90 foot of water, normal pull.
Right.
So 60 feet could be 2 foot off the bank. So yeah, no, I hate to say I'm confident about it, but I'm kind of excited for that one just because, cold water, it sets up really good for, but like you said, a lot of that depends on that waiver because cold water largemouth, God, I suck at. But man, cold water.
18-inch. They got to be 18 inches unless they get a waiver. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, for smallmouth, yeah. But man, cold water smallmouth, I mean, I've been out here with my dad and we'll put the boat in the water and I mean, we'll have someone with a stick breaking ice around the dock to put the boat or down the ramp and then you go out and it's 32, 33 degree water temp and you're jacking 25 pounds of smallmouth, and they're still jumping 6 feet out, fighting like crazy. And it's like largemouth. It's like, in 40-degree water, I've run a crankbait over top of their head. They didn't move. Like,
Yeah.
so.
Well, it's going to be interesting because of this, where I'm at. I'm in Gunnersville. I got here 2 days ago. Gonna fish here because I love it. Probably next week I'll go to Cumberland, but this cold front that just hit down here is really, really gonna make that water temperature dive.
Yeah.
So we'll
We had
see.
temperatures in the mid-20s last night here.
Unless we get some abnormally warm temperatures after this, then I think we're gonna be dealing with the cold water situation. Cold rising water.
Yeah. Cold rising
What
water,
is
though.
what is cold water to you guys? Both of you guys are from, up north where the water gets real cold.
30,
But like
40 degrees is
our
cold to me,
prime
dude.
water temperature for wintertime fishing is like 50 degrees, 53 degrees. 53 is my favorite number. And
Dude,
it was
50.
it was 56, 57 the other day. And then now I'm assuming with this 20-degree weather we've had, 24-degree weather for the last couple of nights. It's been sunny the last couple of days, and that's going to warm things up. But the water temperature is going to be right around that 53 degrees this week when I get back out there Monday. I'm pretty sure it's going to be right. And they feed great. They bunch up great. I mean, it's just different. But there's no smallmouth here either, so.
Yeah. Well, see, I've gone fishing up here when it's like, like I said, breaking ice off the water, thin layer ice or something, or, water's in the low, mid 30s and just waxing them.
Jeez.
But earlier this year when I went down to Grand for the first time, that was when y'all had that big winter
February?
storm, yeah, that went
Yeah.
through the south. And I mean, they said the guy at our hotel was like, dude, 2 weeks ago I walked across Grand Lake. He said, I've never done that. I lived here for 30 years.
Yeah, one of
I
our
was like,
dude.
what? And we went out there and all the bait was dead. The water temperature is like 36 degrees. And I was like, these fish don't know what to do. I mean, we were fishing out in 60 foot of water and you'd see schools of bass and I'd hit fish. You could tell, you hit it and you'd feel a little vibration of the fish swim off and they wouldn't want to do anything. Every time you caught one, we caught one fish and it was like a good one. And we were like, all right, yeah, that's what we need to do. But, up here, those fish are accustomed to it. So I feel like, like Cumberland, with that colder water, those fish will get a little used to it. They'll be a little bit more active than like your 36. So just because they see it.
Yeah.
Not to mention smallmouth, they get active in colder water anyway.
Yeah, I learned that the hard
It'll
way.
be, it'll be an interesting tournament, I think, for the majority of the field. We got Chris Malone is fishing with us this year, and he won. I think it was a Toyota Series Championship on Cumberland a couple of years ago, and I think he lives there too. So
Yeah.
there'll be some locals there.
Oh yeah, but that place is interesting to me because it's I was talking to one of the other guys we fished with the other day, and he said he was talking to one of the guys who lives down there, and they told him the water temp was like 51 degrees last week, and I was like, "That's not to me. That's not cold. Like, it's like that's cold, but with smallmouth in play on a rocky lake,
Right.
you just pull out a crankbait, turn trolling motor on high, and you're gonna catch 5 fish for 12 pounds, and
maybe
that's a
get
big
lucky
one.
with one big one.
Yeah. How much you think it's gonna take to win?
I think between 42 and 45 pounds.
Hmm. Yeah,
It depends. It really depends if we get. And weather is going to be a huge player.
If we get that warm rain, that warm, muddy, rising water, dude, I think it'll be a smash fest. It'll take 17, 18 a day to win, maybe 20 if it's warm enough. But I think if it stays cold and stuff, you're gonna see a lot of people blank because they're not gonna know what to do. They've never
Mhm.
fished in water this cold. So
I think a lot of people haven't fished in that type of fishery either. It's a lot like table rock or bull shoals, and we got a lot of guys that haven't ever fished a lake like that. So we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be interesting. It's a toss up right now. Either way, I'm going to go into it with try and be as confident as I possibly can and swing for the fences.
I mean, same. At this point, it's go big or go home. So, but all right, guys. So now for the fun part of this. I got 6 questions for each of you.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh yeah, we'll start off with old Mike. Age before beauty.
Do I need to write them
Uh,
down? What?
no, I'll hit you one at a time, and you can just
Okay.
we'll switch back and forth. All right. First one. What's your favorite part of fishing for a living?
I can't say that I've got a favorite part of fishing for a living. I mean, everybody claims that fishing is such a great thing, but when you do it for a living, it changes things dramatically. But probably the favorite thing is meeting all the new people, the new anglers, the new people that you run into across the travels that you go. I mean, it's unbelievable. You meet good people.
All right, Doug.
Kind of the same answer. I would say probably helping people, people that I meet along the way, people on social media. I get asked a lot of questions. I get a lot of messages, and you know, it just gives you a good feeling to help somebody even when you don't have to. I think
Gotcha.
and you just meet so many people that have the same passion for you, that same passion as you do, and it's always enjoyable sharing information with them and helping people.
All right. Going back to Mike. All right. What's your least favorite part of fishing for a living?
The time you have to put in, the hours. I mean, it's some days are 16, 18, 20 hours. You go to bed, get right back up, get to the lake, and wait at the ramp before you can launch. It's long, long days, man. I worked, oil field for a lot of years, and it's the long hours is probably the thing I hate the worst. Uh, it's tough. It's a tough journey. I mean, it's definitely tough.
All right, Doug.
Time management. Um, and I would say the part of time management is social media takes up a lot of my time, because I want to put out quality
Feel
content.
that.
I don't just want to put out stuff that people aren't going to look at. I want people to enjoy looking at it and making enough time to get better as an angler and not concentrate so much on social media. You have to find a happy medium, and that's probably the least enjoyable part for me.
I definitely get that. Speaking of social media, I don't know if y'all saw it today. We just released the teaser trailer for the Real Life. It's a video documentary series that I partnered with Fully Loaded this year, and I'll be filming the life on the road, um, trying to get all the
It
behind
did
scenes.
see it. It was awesome. I like that.
Yeah, so we're gonna play that real quick, and then let the people watch it. So. I wanted to be a professional bass fisherman since I was 8 years old. I couldn't think of a better way to live my life than on the water. When I finally graduated the college ranks,
Cameron Jameson 5 fish today. Leading right now is 15.
and was given an opportunity, I was able to live out that dream with the National Professional
16
Fishing.
pounds, 1 ounce.
I can tell you one thing, I wasn't ready. So follow me this year, 2022 season, as we try and capture all the ups, the downs, the behind the scenes. We want to show all the friends made, all the money lost, and all the sleepless nights that it takes to be a real professional and what it takes to live out this dream. This is The Real Life, presented by Fully Loaded. All right, now, all right, back to Mike. All right, so question number 3. What is your favorite fishing memory?
Man, I gotta say, my favorite memory was probably when we were in Winnebago, Wisconsin, making that 3-hour run on day 3 with no wake zones. I mean, just the plan that I was supposed to have been doing all week, I'd done on the last day of the tournament. I fished for about an hour and 40 minutes and I came back. It was phenomenal. I caught 26 fish in less than 2 hours and got out of there. I mean, it was just, that was the highlight of my time. And I've never been a smallmouth fisher person at all. I mean, I've never had that. I've never been able to catch them, never been able to be around them. I mean, where I'm from, we don't have them. So I thought that was a pretty good accomplishment for me, just to be able to go out and catch them like that.
Dude, no, I feel that. Dude, that Winnebago, honestly, I want to go back now. Like that final day, I had a frog tied on and laying on my deck all week. And my stubborn, arrogant self was like, I'm going to go win this thing fishing for smallmouth. And I caught 3 fish on days 1 and 2. And then day 3, I'm rolling out. I put every rod up except that damn frog. I drive back into the river. I pull off to the side to a random, like, I don't know, it was maybe 50 yards across set of pads. I probably caught 20 something fish that day for like 13 something pounds. And I was like, I'm a dumbass.
Well,
I
that's
was like,
like
oh
me.
my
You know,
gosh.
I was hung up. I was hung up from the moment I left my house. I wanted to catch smallmouth. That one in Pickwick ruined me.
Mhm.
You witnessed me catch the one in Pickwick, so you know what that was about.
Oh, dude, yeah.
But I mean, I only caught 2 largemouth the whole time I was there, and they were both 3-pounders, and right out of the same spot I was catching all the smallmouth.
Hmm. No, I feel that. All right, Doug, what about you? Favorite fish ring memory?
Um, well, I got a lot with my dad when I was younger that are great memories. I'll just go with the most recent one. This past fall, right before, I think it was early November, first couple days of November, I went out to a little fishery that I know of in Wisconsin and caught 27 and a half pounds of largemouth. And it was to the point where you were throwing back 4.5 pounders because they weren't helping, just over and over and over. And so the way I was catching them was awesome too. Um, how John Sukup did so good on you follow with the jerk bait
Oh,
with
yeah.
live scope. That's how I got them. It was pretty fun.
I need to move out of Ohio. Lake Erie is amazing. 20 pounds or don't come weigh in. But if you're not fishing on Lake Erie, if it's blowing hard, just go home. Every other lake in the state. I mean, Mosquito Lake out east near Cleveland, that one's decent, 15 a day. But other than that, like, go home. We've got like this little place like right by the house in Findlay called Findlay Reservoir, and I mean it's acres. It's not big, but it's got river smallmouth in it. I mean you can catch 15 pounds a day in there, so I mean it's fun. You can get your fill if it's blowing hard, but I need to I need to move somewhere where the fishing's a little bit better. I get options and not just Erie. So,
Right.
all right, Mike. What's your must-have snacks on the boat? Everyone's got some.
Probably for me, man, the only thing I bring with me is something to drink. I don't eat all day when I'm fishing. Nothing. I don't eat anything. I don't stop. I don't take
Really?
nothing. I don't eat anything. And I'm a big guy and I just don't eat.
Jesus. I couldn't do that. Dude, I gotta have the purple bag Doritos. Like, best chip on the planet. Like, I gotta have them. I mean, I'll eat an entire bag and set my mouth on fire while I'm idling out of the back of a bay, but like, I gotta have them. All right, Doug.
Same thing, pretty much. I really don't snack much. Um,
Really? Jesus.
no, I usually just get my energy drinks in the morning, and that's pretty much it.
Oh my
Maybe a
gosh.
candy bar, Snickers if I do get a candy bar. I guess that counts.
I mean, I can do with Snickers, but man, not eating all day. Like, I can't handle that. I'm a big enough boy. I need my food. All right, Mike. Here's a tough one. You could be a superhero. Who's it gonna be?
Man, I have no idea. I've never thought of that. I really don't know, man. I mean, honestly, I can't answer that. I don't have a clue.
Oh.
I don't know of any superhero that I would like to be. I mean, somebody like Kevin Van Dam, maybe.
He's like, I'd like $5 million in winnings, please.
No doubt.
All right, Doug.
Um, I'd say Iron Man, but not for the reason you think. It's because Tony Stark is probably the most intelligent man on the planet, and if I were him, I would be able to figure these fish out.
I feel that. I want to be old. I don't know if
Captain.
y'all can see that. Old Batman.
Oh, Batman! I
yeah,
thought you were
Bat-
pointing at the flag there.
no. Old Batman right there.
You see
Old
what
Bat.
kind of flag it is, right?
Oh, yeah, dude. That's Barnwood, Texas flag, dude.
See it.
But, dude, Batman's got all the money and the gadgets. And that's one thing I could use more of. Money and the gadgets. All right, here you go. Last question there. If you were a bourbon, describe yourself.
Dark and smooth.
Oh, okay. Now, are you old or are you a young
Oh yeah,
bourbon?
I'm aged. Yes, sir.
He's- All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right. What about you, Doug?
Cheap.
Cheap?
I'm the cheap stuff.
He said, call me Southern Comfort there, bud.
Oh man, he's that rich and rare bottle.
Or
yeah.
Kessler, whatever.
They call me Malors. Jesus. Oh my gosh.
I'll tell you, if I have to drink any kind of bourbon, I really like the way Crown Black tastes, man. It's probably the best for me. That's what I really enjoy.
Crown technically is not bourbon.
Well, no, you're right. You're right. But the black is pretty good.
Yeah. Crown, I'll give it to you though. Crown, if Crown wasn't made in Canada, it'd be a bourbon. Made
Hmm.
the same way,
Yeah.
but because it's made in Canada, it can't classify as a bourbon.
Now, I got to say, I do got a bottle of Jim Beam honey over there that's pretty darn good, too.
It's not bad. I got probably a $500-$600 worth of, maybe
Cigarette
close to
collection.
$800 worth of liquor sitting behind me right now. But all right, guys. Well, you got anything for me?
Just
Yeah,
looking forward
I
to.
do. I want to know who would you like to be if you were one of those superheroes other than Batman if you had to pick one?
Other than
See, you
Batman,
planned these
Jesus.
questions. See, we didn't get to plan any questions. So without the one you've already picked, who would you
Oh,
pick?
Jesus. Ooh, man, that's a tough one if I can't go with the go-to. Hmm. Dude, I don't know.
See, that's where
That's
you
a
put up.
I mean, you're taking away my option there, so that's where it makes it hard. Damn. All right. I don't know. I'd have to be gosh, who else is rich and has a bunch of gadgets? Can't say Tony Stark because
Yeah.
homeboy over there. Oh man. Can't say Black Panther. I feel like there's something, it doesn't work there. But let's see. I don't know. Green Arrow. He's rich, has a bunch of gadgets. Basically like the
Yeah.
DC's Deadpool, you know. He's hilarious, so I fit the bill,
Yeah.
obviously. But all right, guys, it was great talking with y'all tonight, but give y'all a second, thank your sponsors, family, all that, Mike. Anybody you want to
Oh,
give a
I gotta thank Fully Loaded, man. They've been behind me for now. This is my second year with them, and they've been great with me, man. I love those guys. I love Ken. He spent time in my boat fishing with me on Pickwick, on Winnebago, and hopefully he can get down here and fish with me some on Rayburn.
Oh yeah, no, that was a fun time. I got to take Ken when we got back from Winnebago. I got to take Ken out to Lake Erie. Unfortunately, it was blowing a million miles an hour that day, so we didn't get to chase smallmouth, but we went into one of the little bays, and I mean, smoked them. I mean,
You want
I
to
don't,
take me out on Lake Erie too? I'll
oh,
go with
dude,
you.
we'll go, dude. We'll go. I may not take you up to Canada because I'll need those spots, but I'll give you a top 10 finish on the U.S. side. So, but all right, Doug, what about you?
Fully loaded. Partnered with them this year. This is the first year with them. Looking forward to it. JB3 rods, 5x3 fishing, mirror image marine and gel coat, Vexus boats, Mercury. The list goes on. Without any one of them, who knows where I'd be. So definitely appreciate all those guys. And when you guys go out and get stuff from those sponsors we're talking about, it definitely helps us all out too, and keeps the wheels turning. So thank you to the fans as well.
Yep. Yep, guys, definitely want to thank Bourbon Bass Fishing. Wants to thank, Mike and Doug here for coming on tonight. It was a good show. I can't wait to, see Doug here in, geez, what, couple weeks to a month when we go down to Cumberland, finally get this NPFL thing kicked off. We'll film another Bourbon and Bass Fishing, and I'm sure, you'll see him on plenty of them this year. So, and then Mike, dude, I'll be down in Texas in March filming a
Well, it
show
turns out I
for.
don't have anything going in March, maybe. So
Oh, dude, I'll be down there
we out
filming
there.
an episode for Honey Hole TV come
Yeah, we
March.
talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yep. So I'll give you a phone call when we're in town. And I mean, I plan to have the boat, hopefully the Bass Cat comes in by then. I still don't have it yet. And I'm getting a little nervous. Like, got my dad's Z19 that I can, borrow again for Cumberland. But man, I want that Puma. I want her to come in. I want, she's decked out, got all the fancy bells and whistles on her. And I'm like, oh, dude, come on. Plus,
I may have one in a week.
oh, yeah, dude. They need to get in. I'm open. But yeah, so I definitely like thank them, like thank Fully Loaded. They are the title sponsor this year of the real life documentary series and the Bourbon and Bass podcast, as well as me on tour. So it's exciting, should be a good year. Razor Rods, brand new rod company I just partnered with. And then Paul's Marine, Bass Cat, Cornerstone Baits, Old Fart Lures, Spear Point Hooks, Mercury, all the good names. So, but it was great having y'all on tonight. And guys, I'm ready to get on the water and see y'all soon.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So tight lines and good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I did miss a couple with mine. I didn't say anything about my new rod, guys. I picked up a company out of Arkansas called Power Rods.
Oh, dude,
And
I love
they
power.
are an amazing rod. I love it. I've caught 2 big fish already on them, and you know how I love to throw that crankbait, and they hold up well.
Dude, yeah. One of my buddies has got a Powell crankbait rod, and I
Yeah, I
swear,
love it.
if I'm on his boat and I don't have my stuff, dude, I'm picking that up. It's a little green rod, dude. I love that. I don't even know if they make it anymore, but
They
dude,
make
that
a
thing is,
phenomenal rod, man. I'm gonna tell you, I love it. I love it. I love it.
yeah, good rod company there. But yep, guys, thank you, and we'll see y'all soon.
Okay, buddy.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Good luck to you guys.
Yep.
You too.
All right, guys.